Um, Thank you for joining the session. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rogelio Rueda, and I'm going to be presenting to you this morning the new features and enhancements on iVend 6.5, Update 5. Like I said, yes, we just released this new version, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, and it's already available on our knowledge portal. So today we're going to be talking about two parts. Basically, it's the new features in iVend 6.5, and also in a second part, those enhancements that will make your lives easier. And there's actually a very cool stuff that you're going to see today, and you're going to like about the latest version of iVend. So let's just go straight into the new features, and I'm going to start by talking to you about the new price check feature. Okay, this is something that it was long due, something that we were asking for a long time. Now it's available, and now the users will be able to very quickly check the price of a product just by scanning the product. We are going to be able to add a new button to your POS design. You're going to have to create the button though, and then put it in your layout so that it will allow you to have this this new function. And basically what you do is you click on the button and then you scan or enter the item code, and you will be able to see the price and basically the description, the discounts, everything about the item. So let me show you very quickly. Let me go into my point of sale. Let me just close this here. And as you can see, I have a new button here. Like I said, you're going to have to take your design, your preferred design, your POS layout, and add the button to your screen, to your POS screen. I did that. I'm going to show you quickly how you do that. You basically go into your POS customization and make sure that you add a new design panel here. You can see I have added my price check panel. Once you add this new price check panel, make sure you check the you add the check item price object type in your design, and then you're gonna be able to open your new your preferred layout and add that new button to your design. So basically what you do is you click on the check item price. You will see a little like a tag here on top. Then you enter the item number, and then what you see is on the top bar, you will see the description, the price, discount, and the net price for a few seconds. So okay, so again, check item price. You click on the bottom, you see the little sign there. You enter the item code or scan it, and then you see. In this way, you don't have to add the item to the transaction, which in the past it would became in some cases an inconvenience for the cashier, especially for those who didn't have the rights to delete items from the transaction, or the ones that needed to have a manager authorization for deleting the item from the transaction. So it became a real pain. So now you just click on the bottom, enter the item code, and you will see the description, price, discount, and net price on the top. Okay, so very cool feature. Next, we have a new fiscal receipt customization and extensibility feature. This I would say will not, I'm not spend too much time on this because it's actually more applicable for the LATAM countries. Some countries in Central South America and the Caribbean, they use what they call a fiscal printer. And so right now we just have the fiscal printers added to the system, but now they're going to be able to by themselves to add new fiscal printers very easily using Extensibility. Another cool feature is the transaction register. The users will now be able to see and check the transactions that are occurring at the POS from the management console. They will be able also to navigate to the target document. In this case, we're talking about special orders. You're going to be able to look for the delivery document, and they will also be able to print the transaction from the management console. So that's I find that very cool. So if you see, you go to the management console, then you have to go into operations, business transactions, and at the very last of the list you'll see POS Transaction Register. So you click in there, and as you can see, there are quite a few filters here, selection criteria that you can use so that you can search for transactions from previous dates. Okay, for example, all right, so you'll see more transactions from other days, or by default you will see the transactions for the current business day. All right, so like I said, you can view the transaction. You can, for example, I'm going to take this special order here, and I can view the transaction. Actually, if you see, it's almost like if you were looking at the transaction at the POS, and you will be able to see even the target document. This is a special order. The target document will be no, it's not. Okay, the target document would be delivery document. You will be able to see that by clicking on the target document. I'm going to go back to the approve request later, but you can also print the transaction. Like I said, you can have a printout of the transaction on a A4 or a letter format if you wish. That's the new POS Transaction Register function. As you can see, you see all types of transaction, deliveries, sales, special orders, payments, etc., all of them on your management console. Also, you will be able now to do stock transfer requests from the mobile POS. From the handheld. This wasn't available before. All you could do is shipment receipts, but now you can create a stock transfer request from the handheld, and then that will of course integrate into iVend and into SAP if you are using iVend plugged. Like I was saying, the transaction approval is something that also you will be able to do from the management console. Let me show you quickly. For example, very quickly, let me just jump into another feature before I go there, because I'm going to use that feature to show you. And that's now you can restrict the price, the discount per product. If you go into your inventory product option, at the very end you will see two new settings, and that's when you want to, regardless of any promotion, regardless of any special prices that are currently available, you will be able to set a maximum discount per item. Okay, so let me just show you how this works, and show you also the approval transaction from the management console. So I'm going to do, if I go and try to do a discount of this product of more than 5%, as I said, you will get an error message saying that the maximum discount for this item is 5%. So in order for the cashier or the salesperson to do that, what they have to do is they have to go into the user menu, and they will require a manager approval. Okay, so they will get a message saying that the transaction is marked for management approval, and then what happens is that once you click complete, you can of course ask the customer to hold for maybe a few seconds, because the transaction is going to be put as a suspended transaction. And at the management console, what happens is that the manager or the supervisor will get a notification. It should come any minute, any second here, and it will basically let me know as the supervisor that somebody is requesting an approval from me, because he or she would like to offer the customer a higher discount of that is allowed for that item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, was hoping that this notification will show up, and that also I'm going to show you where you set up this new notification is part of the enhancements that we have in iVend 655. Let's see. Okay, there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my notifications, and I'm going to see that there's an approval request. So what I'll do is I'll click on the little magnifying glass to open that transaction, and I'm going to go ahead and say approve request. All right. So I'm going to approve the transaction, and the cashier at the point of sale, let me go back to my point of sale. I have to say I didn't have time to set up the alert on the point of sale, but this is something that you also will enable through a new button on your POS design. And once you add that, you will also on the POS you'll get the alert that the transaction has been approved. But I'm gonna go to suspend recall, and I'm gonna just recall the transaction that was just approved on that. Is that the one? Suspend recall. Cash code. Yeah, this should be the one. Yeah, 100. Okay. I'm not sure why this count is not there. Anyways, this is how you recall the transaction, and then you are able to sell the transaction with the right discount. Now let's. That's about the transaction approval using the new transaction management from the management console. And like I said, these transactions will remain in suspended mode until the manager has approved. As I show you, there's two new buttons that the manager will use to approve or reject the request. Another new feature on the iVend 6.5 update 5 is the dynamic bill of materials. So basically what you will have is that you will for a product, of course the parent product, you will check this new checkbox as the dynamic assembly, and then all the child items or the components of that assembly will you will be able to sell a different quantity, or even sell less items than those of the assembly definition. Okay, so this is what the dynamic bill of materials will allow you to do. Just basically select which items of the bill of materials and which quantities you want to sell in that transaction. Another feature that we will have in iVend 655 is the ability to reserve the stock for special orders. So if you go into your fulfillment plan, you will see that you will have a new check. Let me go into inventory, fulfillment plan, and you will see that you will have a new option to reserve the quantity for special orders. So whenever you go into your point of sale and you try to sell an item using a fulfillment plan, you will be able to check or uncheck this option, whether you want to reserve the inventory from the available stock or not. Okay, so it's optional, but the fulfillment plan will have that option as a default. Okay, so this will reserve the inventory for me in iVend. A new feature in iVend 655 is the maintenance model. With this new feature, you will be able to launch and distribute hotfixes and patches through your network, and in a very easy way. The way you do that is you use the configuration manager, and then you start your remote support viewer and remote support client. So you start these options and you log in, and it's basically a very convenient way of having a view of course I don't have any, this is my demo stack, sorry, my standalone laptop. But once you you log into your HO, you will be able to see all your store servers and POS machines, the users, the versions that they're running on, etc., etc., and you will be able to deploy iVend patches there in a very easy and quick way. All right. So that's on the new maintenance module. This is, by the way, this is a licensed component, so you will need to buy a license to use this module. If you need any further information on license on licensing of this module, please let me know. There's going to be some new theft protection KPIs. You will see on your retail profile, you will see two new settings that will allow you to check for the cash drawer and the printer status. So, for example, whenever the printer is running out of paper, it will send you an alert, so you take care of that issue. Or, for example, if the printer is the cover is open or the cash drawer is open, if you select this the settings, if you check them, you will be receiving all these alerts, and actually the cashier won't be able to continue with the transaction until he or she takes care of that issue. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about enhancements. There's quite a few enhancements, so I'm gonna try to go a little bit faster. There's a new customer facing display. This is again another license component. You will be able to design your own customer display. So what you do is you go into your administration, POS customization, and then if you have the license, you will be able to see this option, customer display layout. So you can have as many layouts as you need. And what you basically do is you will have 3 different settings. One is when the customer display is idle, when you are doing a transaction, and there's also if you want to get the feedback from your customers. So let me do a very quick test for you here. So for example, right now, this is my customer's display simulator. So what the customer would be looking at would be this, and like I said, you can design the way you want this screen to look. So when I'm going to complete the sale, I will get a message at the POS saying that the feedback is in process. So you may ask the customer to go ahead and do some questions for you. You can define your questions. You can define your answers. You can use little smiley faces, or you can use actually real responses. So your customer is going to go through your questions and basically complete the questionnaire, and then your screen will go back to the normal look. So this is the different. There's another. I don't have any idle screen defined, as you can see, but whenever my screen is idle, I will see also a different screen until I start the new transaction. All right. So that's pretty cool. You can do a lot of stuff with your customer display now. Also, the replication engine has been enhanced considerably. How? Well, the new feature that we have added is that for an item, for stores, you can, if you're using store groups, retail configuration, if you're using store groups, you will see that in your retail profile at the, no, it's not at the, enterprise. Yeah. In your enterprise settings, you will see a new setting. It's called Update Inventory Status within Store Group. If you check that option, what's going to happen is that all the inventory transactions, all the inventory status will update only in that group of your store. Okay, so this will save a lot of disk space and performance and time, because only the stores that are in your group will be updated with all the transactions that you're doing in your store. Okay, so this is of course, this is optional if you're using store groups. If you're not, well then the replication is continued to be done on all the stores. In iVend 655, you will be able to limit the quantity on a transaction. So whenever you, if in a product, you will see, if you go into operations, inventory, product, I have added on 100107, at the very end, you will see that, well, not at the very end, but where is it? Here. maximum quantity per transaction. So regardless of the promotion, regardless of whatever, if I am setting a maximum quantity per transaction for a product, I won't be able to sell more than that. When do we apply this kind of features? For example, when, let's just use the iPhone as an example. The new iPhone is coming out, so you want to limit the quantity of iPhones that a customer can purchase from you in one transaction. So if I go into my point of sale and I do 107, I won't be able to increase the quantity because of that setting. All right. So now you're going to be able to search for customers at the POS using the mobile phone, the telephone, the email, some of the new criteria. I'm going to show you. I'm going to avoid this sale, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a customer search first, and you'll see that I have some of my customers have an email, some have a phone number. So if I use the phone number, for example, if I do my customer is going to change to Michael Brown because it recognized the phone. Or I can use the email. To search for also for the customer. In this case is Robert Jones, etc. So there's new fields that you can search at the POS. Inventory counts are now simpler. So in one screen, if you were using inventory counts in the past, you notice that you had to go through, I think it was a couple of maybe 3 different screens. Now it's everything in one screen. So you will see, if you're using inventory counts, you will see it's a lot simpler now. License control, you will see a new enhancement on the license control. Whenever you go into your administration, IT administration, license information, you will see that they have added a cool feature here. So you will see all your store licenses, how they are assigned or allocated to your different stores, your POS licenses, your management console licenses, and so on and so forth for every single license component that you're using. Okay, I showed you already this maximum discount and how it works at the POS and how you use the manager approval to override that. You can now restrict a sale of an item on a zero price. If you mark this new check on your product master for a product, you will be able to sell that product at zero price. Now, on iVend 655, the transaction completion time and the start time is also captured. So you will be able to view this on a new report. So of course this is a field, a system field, but there's a new report. I think it's in general. Transaction time. So let's just go for till today. So you will be able, just for maybe for slow cashiers, or you will be able to see what the issues are, how long it's taking for a specific cashier to complete the transactions. This is 44 seconds, 33 seconds, 37 seconds, and this will give you more information and more KPIs. There's a new feature to add surcharges at the stock transfer receipt. So whenever you receive a stock transfer, you will be able to add surcharges if you wish. So if you go into operations and you do business transactions, stock transfer receipt, and you go new, if I open my stock transfer shipment, you'll see that I'm going to be able to add a surcharge to this inventory stock transfer. With iVend 655, you'll be able to use more than one format, more than one report layout, so the user can actually select from which format he or she is going to print that transaction receipt or that gift receipt, quotation, etc., etc. So of course you can see that under your administration, retail configuration, print profile, and you'll see that you will be able to add new formats to your selection. Alert notification, you will be able now to send an alert within iVend using email, the already available application, internal application, or even an SMS alert. Okay. In iVend 655, you will be now recording how many times a receipt is being printed. You will be able to see that on a new report in reports. I think it's under general and receipt print count. Okay, so this report will give you how many times a receipt has been reprinted. This is for security purposes mainly, and you will be able to see if maybe a specific cashier is reprinting a lot of times. And finally, we have added some cool enhancements in loyalty. You will see that in the new loyalty, you will be able to redeem points in multiples of something. So you can force your customers to use multiples of 5, multiples of 10. It's up to you. And the ability also to use a default loyalty program that wasn't available before. So if you go into operations, loyalty, you will see that on your loyalty setup, you can set as default. So whenever you create a new customer, whether it's on the management console or at the POS, you will see that the loyalty program by default is the custom. All right. If I had more than one program, I will see all the options here. But by default, I'm going to use the custom loyalty program. Okay. So that's pretty much. I know there's more cool stuff that is available in iVend 655. And more minor changes, minor enhancements that you will see, you will be able to benefit from. But for now, these are the most relevant features that we have released with iVend 655. And now I'm going to open a space for questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to try to answer any questions you have. And also you can always reach me at rogelio.rueda@cityaccess.com. If you have any further questions in the future, please feel free to let me know. I hope if you have any questions, please ask right now. I hope that the information shared here is been useful for you, and please feel free to go into City Access portal, that's knowledge.cityaccess.com, and download the latest iVend 655. And that's it. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you next month that's actually this month. There's going to be another session on the new features on the mobile POS. So we hope to see you there. Thank you for your time. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.